Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? Testing. Testing. We're always under testing. This whole world is a testing. People still being busy with eating and drinking. What can we do? Because they don't taste. Once you start tasting from the other side, then this world will lose its taste for you. One of the easiest ways to be able to taste from the other side is to be around those that they have tasted. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, be with the salihin. He is not saying to us, be with salihin. He knows how weak servants we are. He says, be with the salihin. Yahu, if you sit next to the man who mixes perfumes all day, you get his smell too. When you are with those ones who have tasted from Mawla, you taste it too, and you look, compared to this dunya, what is this dunya? It's nothing. Let me just die and just go. This is the mercy. And this has to do with the heart, has to do with sincerity. It is not so much how much worship that you are doing to, how you think that you are so filled with knowledge. No. Never forget, our Holy Prophet ﷺ, he was Ummi. He didn't know how to read or write. Can he know how to read and write? Of course he can. He is Sayyidul Kainat. How can he not know? But there is a secret there. Astaghfirullah lazim wa atubu ilayh. This is the last Jummah of the month of Rabiul Awwal. So many things that we have to catch before it leaves. So many things that we have to observe. We have to understand. Before it leaves or before we leave, before we die. Once we're dead, it's finished. Don't say, I want to have another chance, like some foolish people. You have not one chance, you have millions of chances. Every breath that you take, that is said, if you are breathing in ghaflat, is one missed chance of knowing your Lord. One chance that is missed from understanding your Holy Prophet ﷺ. How many chances we have in the day, in the hour. It is all connected to the breaths of life. When you're finished breathing, finished with your breath of life, that's when the angel of death will come. So be careful how you breathe, where you're going to breathe. Yes, be careful with whom you breathe. The air that you're breathing in, if you're breathing the air that is filled with kufr and munafiqs, you will get it too. You don't know anything. You're breathing in the air of the prophets and the saints of Allah. Something inside of you will wake up. It has to. That child from the womb that comes out, it is without any learning. No learning. No knowledge. But that child, until it reaches the age of maturity, these children, they're closer to the ranks of the prophets and the friends of Allah than we are. They are masum. We are not Christians who say you're born in original sin. No, in Islam is teaching us there's original innocence. Original innocence, original perfection. Who heard the sohbat today? The khutbah, by the way. Let's test the murids. You did. Whereas you didn't hear. Huh? You're too busy. Dunya catching you. Then how are we going to build from sohbat to sohbat, from khutbah to khutbah? Original perfection. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us all in. Ahsani taqwim. And He has placed us in asfal as-safilin, in the lowest of the low. Did He leave us here without any guidance? Did He leave us here without any light? We are the millat of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Meaning, even without any prophet coming to us, just with the intelligence alone, the heart that Allah has put in our heart, like Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, we would be able to know, we must be able to know, especially people of the Akhir Zaman, to say, this is not my Lord, this is not my Lord, this is not my Lord. But today's people, they are saying everything is Lord except for Allah. They're serving everything they're putting in their heart. This is what Tasawwuf must be busy with, to get rid of the idols that is in your heart. The hidden shirk. The emphasis of Shariat is the do's and the don'ts. The stress, the emphasis of Tariqat has to do with the idols that is in your heart. It's not the do's and the don'ts. Yes. It is the why. Why are you doing it? You're praying. Why are you praying? So many, they're praying, you see. They hardly pray. But when they come to the masjid, subhanAllah, you think the whole life is in prayer. If they take the takbir, they want the whole world to know. Even Mahdi alayhi salam is going to lose. Allahu Akbar. Wrong. Wrong intentions. Leave those ones. We are also part of it, like this or like that. Don't say that, oh, we are above that. We are also part of it. That saint is saying, Hazrat Rabiul Awwal is saying, those who are worshipping Allah just to get to paradise, I wish to burn the paradise. Those who are worshipping Allah just to escape from Jahannam, he says, I want to put out the fires of Jahannam. Ihsan. Ihsan. What is ihsan? The hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam? To worship Allah as if you see Him. And if you don't, to know that Allah sees you. This is taqwa. Tasawwuf is taqwa. To live, to breathe, to worship. You don't make a distinction from that. You don't make any separation. To live without breathing, to breathe without worship, to do things without the remembrance of your Lord, without the remembrance of your Holy Prophet ﷺ, what kind of a life is that? That is not a life. So ihsan, to worship Allah as if you see Him, and if you don't see Him, to know that Allah sees you. This is taqwa. These pictures here. First test of people in this way. Why are you having pictures of your shaykh here? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Subhanallah, where you come from? The deserts of Arabia, you've never seen pictures before? You've seen billions of pictures. You have your pictures, pockets filled with pictures. Everyone has a phone that's filled with thousands of pictures. Pictures of what? Now, where is it leading you to? Over there we have Masjid al-Aqsa. Over there we have Masjid al-Nabawi and Masjid al-Haram. Those are pictures. You think Hazrat Insan is not higher than a bunch of stones? But those ones, those stones there, on top of stones, these masjids, those jamis, what are they? What is Masjid al-Haram but a Qibla? To point to Allah. Now you look at Masjid al-Haram. Is it going to remind you of anything except Allah? No. You look at Masjid al-Nabawi. Is it going to pull you to dunya? No. Qudus? No. Now you come to the secret. There are men, when you see them, you think nothing but Jahannam. You think nothing but dunya. Men or women. And there are some men, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Hadith al-Qudsi, when you look at them, they will remind you of Allah. Especially in this Akhir Zaman, because Islam is not a religion that is unmoving. The principles are there. Principles you cannot change, definitely. The asas is there, the foundation is there. But it is a living religion. It has to move. Everything that is above that foundation, it has to move. It has to fit into the time. People say, oh, this is not it. This is not. You cannot. It is showing how much deep your knowledge of the religion also is. There are men now, you look, they will remind you of Allah. Are you worshipping them? No. Are you loving them? Of course. Why? For the sake of Allah. Why? Because Allah loves them. Why is that? Because when you look at them, they remind you of Allah. It's done, it's finished. But man has not discovered his own secret. He's still looking after books, ink and paper. You haven't come. Majority, they have not come to look at each other, to look into your hearts. Where the secrets are. Where the remembrance of Allah is. Where Allah is saying to the angels, you cannot see me. You cannot find me. My divine lights will burn you. But if you go down into the world and you look into the heart of a believer who remembers me, you will find me there. We are created to become servants. To be servants. We are servants. Whether we like it or we don't. Obedient servants or disobedient servants. Even Shaitan is a servant. He's a disobedient servant. But if you start to think that you are better than Shaitan, think again. This is very hard for especially today's 21st century man's ego. What, me? Worse than Shaitan? No, I'm better than Shaitan. You fail already in the first test of tasawwuf, of spirituality. Shaitan made one mistake. Allah is saying, make sajda to Adam alayhi salam. And technically, astaghfirullah, technically, he may be right. He's saying, no, I make worship only to you. I make sajda only to you, not to this mud. And if anything, he should make sajda to me because I'm made from fire, technically. But Allah is saying to obey me, to love me, to be obedient to me. If you submit to me, if you make sajda to me, you must make sajda to the one that I point to. If it is a man, you must make sajda to that. If it is a stone, as a Kaaba is, you have to make sajda. So now, what is that sajda? What does that sujud mean? We make sujud to Allah, but our direction is a Kaaba. You love the man, the picture. He is a direction to Allah. The one who says, cuts off that direction to Allah, that time you'll be worshipping him. But in 1400 years, no one has ever worshipped the Holy Prophet ﷺ. None. No one ever confused him with the Creator. And it is this beauty of tasawwuf that people from all over the world, those who are completely different from the Arabs, those Ajams, those Persians, or those Turks, that later they became the biggest defenders of Islam, they say this is what our forefathers taught us. Or people in the West, or people in the Far East, they say this is the original teachings of our religion. You have come to teach us our religion. As our Grand Sheikh, Maulana Muhammad Nazim Al-Akani is saying, you want to become a better Jew, become a Muslim. You want to be a better Christian, become a Muslim. Now, if you want to become a better Muslim, follow the sunnah of his greatest Sahabis. Follow the sunnah of Hazrat Ali. Follow the sunnah of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiallahu an. These two that were given the secrets of tasawwuf. Inshallah, we are very weak, dirty creatures. We're walking step by step, inshallah, in their way. May Allah accept because of our love for them. Don't depend on your faith And don't depend on your worship. Depend on the mercy of Allah. Depend on the shafaat of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.